Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day today. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Today I just wanted to make a video of 60 minutes of weapon reviews. I did get some suggestions for this video and I just thought it would be a great idea, especially seeing some of these videos are a little outdated and they're kind of funny, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments how you think about them. So yeah, let's get into it here. Hope you enjoy. Today I'm going to do a video on the new cremator weapon, which you can get off the scoreboard. I'm going to show you how to get it, all its mods, a build for it, and all that good stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, so simple as that as it is just go onto the seasons here and you can see, I think it's the 4th page, you are able to unlock the cremator. Now, this weapon's already good without its mods, to be honest, but as you progress through the seasons here, you will unlock more mods for it. So I'm going to be showing all the best ones in the video and all that. I got you covered there. There's some paint jobs for it here, as you can see as well. But you're going to want to get all these mods because they are very good and it just makes it that much more powerful. And then what you see in my videos will reflect your damage as well once you get all this stuff on it. But again, I just want to point out that it is, it's very overpowered even without these mods. And one of the last things you unlock is the ability to change the color of the fireballs that it shoots, which is very cool as well. So absolutely amazing weapon. Trust me, wait till you see what this thing can do. But before we do, I just want to show a build that I used for this weapon. Now, you can switch this up however you want. This is just the build that I used for it in case you want to copy me. Extremely overpowered. Yes, I just want to point out too, you can use this without a power armor and you can use this without being a low health build, but you just won't be able to take advantage of nerd rage and stabilized and all that other stuff. I just want to point out as well, for the legendary perk cards here, definitely have sizzling style and electric absorption. Power sprinter you can definitely switch out for master infiltrator, funky duds, even another letter. Take one for the team if you're going to be taking out big enemies, and like I said, even another letter if you want to put some more perks on. And again, if you do use this without being a low health build, you won't be able to take advantage of Nerd Rage and Radical, just for example, for some of the perks that I have on here. I did make this a low health build in the power armor, if you can believe that. And I did include a beginner build here in case you are, you know, a little newer to the game and you're still trying to unlock all this stuff. I just want to point out too, this is not really the most beginner friendly weapon to use, but in case you do want to use it and you know you got enough fuel to keep it fed, then this is a build, and I highly recommend if you're going to start putting on legendary cards to start with sizzling style. And again, I do recommend using a power armor with this build. If you don't, then you just won't be able to take advantage of stabilized, which is a great perk for extra damage. So definitely recommend a power armor. I recommend adrenal reaction, herbivore, speed demon, all of these as well. Herbivore specifically because you can get 188% extra critical damage if you take blight soup, and you have live and love 3 going as well. An extra 188% damage for criticals, ladies and gentlemen. I would recommend a bloodied if you can for this build. Anti-armor wouldn't be too bad, although from my testing, I did really like the bloodied. I tried instigating, quad, anti-armor. Bloodied was the one that I came up with, was, you know, one of the better ones. I tried all the barrels. Multi-shot barrel definitely seems to be the best, as it's really good for the splash damage as well. Fast propellant tank I highly recommend just because the AP cost is going to be a little bit lower, and it will save you, you know, when you're running around if you don't have the power sprinter perk on that we were talking about earlier. And I do recommend the napalm tank. The slow burning tank is very good, but you're pretty much going to one-shot everything anyway, so you won't really need that burn effect afterwards, in my opinion. If you're fighting a big boss enemy, then definitely the burning damage would be great. But as I said, you will pretty much one-shot everything. Like, boom, Behemoth's dead, one shot. And this is crazy. This thing's like a homing missile. Look, it goes past his head, around the tree, comes back, and boom, he's dead. That insane. I couldn't believe it when I first shot that. I thought it was hilarious. Mirelurk Queen, you know, I got a little bit of splash damage on her. Still, shoot the legs, no problem. One shot if you're doing a critical. Scorch Beast, no problem. One shot if you're doing a critical. And if it's not critical, it's gonna like 3-shot all these enemies, everybody. This weapon is ridiculously overpowered. Just to show what it can do to an Agua here, this was without critical shots and adrenaline going, and then you can see I switched to the critical and it took off like half its health. Like, this thing is absolutely insane. Insane weapon. Might be the most overpowered weapon in the game at this point. You can see I just launched or lobbed a bunch of shots over here at Distant Thunder, and all the Scorched were dead. Every one of them. Complete at Distant Thunder just like that. Like, look at all the corpses here. Just insane, this weapon. Again, you know, just to show, I couldn't believe that it one-shot Super Mutant Behemoths. Like, I just think that's absolutely insane, and especially my favorite part about it, one-shotting the Scorch Beast. Again, I just wanted to show, oh, just insane how powerful this weapon is. I don't even need to show you guys regular mobs. Obviously, it one-shots them. The worst thing about this weapon is that it uses 15 fuel a shot, which is a lot. It's going to take a lot to keep this thing fed, so I do recommend running just regular heavy weapons with this gun. Like, a Gatling gun is great for ammo, and this build will buff its damage as much as possible, and you will be able to get kills with it. And the Holy Fire is even better for this build because it'll keep you alive if you need to be, and it'll do more than a lot of damage. If you can get this weapon as a vampire as well, the Cremator, you pretty much won't die with this build. So I couldn't get a vampire's weapon, unfortunately, but yeah, if you get a vampire's cremator and use this build, you're pretty much going to be, you know, indestructible. Hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a pleasant evening. Hello everybody, hope you're having a fantastic day today. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Plasma Caster and how good of a gun it actually is. I think it's one of the best guns in the game, and I feel like a lot of people overlook it. So let's get into it here. Maybe I can change your mind to maybe try to use this weapon. Okay, so if you didn't know, you can get the plan for this from Vault 79. You will have to do the main quest involving the Raiders and Foundation, or Crater and Foundation, I should say. And then when you're done, I don't really want to spoil anything, you'll be able to get the plans from a man named Regs here. And it is 750 bullion for the plan to make the weapon, and then depending on the mods that you will want for it, maybe a little bit extra more bullion, probably not more than 200, and I will show you the mods that I am using. I do highly recommend using a power armor for this build because the perks that I'm going to be showing does involve using stabilized, which I'm going to show right here, and you need to be in a power armor for this to work. And what it does is basically ignores 45% armor, and your accuracy is a lot better. So you're definitely going to want to be in a power armor if you're using the build that I'm going to show right here. And I kind of went for like a VATS critical build, which I'm not too familiar with the power armor. I'm usually doing this out of power armor, but I found this build worked absolutely great for me. But I did put it together fairly quick, but you're going to see later on, it's still really overpowered, and I'm sure you will more than enjoy this build. So yeah, definitely check it out, the perks that I have here, and maybe make some tweaks to them if you want. But this is what I used, and like I said, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, these are the mutations that I'm using as well, just in case you want to copy those as well. And this is the Plasma Caster I'm using. I got a really good roll the other day, so you won't be able to get this very easily, but like an anti-armor would do. Bloodied is great if you can get it, and the critical damage, even the reload speed if you can get it would be great. I just want to point out, you can see that sometimes this gun can be extremely inaccurate in VATS, but sometimes it's like a sniper too, I'm going to show as well. But I know a lot of people will say that, you know, it does miss a lot. It's like it's just shooting for the moon sometimes. It's crazy. But also, like I was just saying, it's definitely like a sniper sometimes. Like, look at the distance I headshot at these super mutants from. So I feel like it's just so random. I find the perception really doesn't make too much of a difference. And it's also very good for aiming down sights. If you aim somewhere, it's pretty much going to go there. As you can see here, I didn't really have any problems hitting these guys. And that's usually what I used to do in a heavy gunner build. I wasn't using VATS too often. So if you don't want to use them, works great as well. But just to show the damage the weapon, or the damage this weapon can do. Like, you can just one-shot level 100 Super Mutants in West Tech, pretty much one-shot any regular mob enemy. Like, this gun is extremely powerful. It's basically like an ammo machine for plasma cartridges or ultrasight plasma cartridges, because you're like one-shotting everything, and you're getting like, what, like 8 to 16, maybe even more ammo every time a body drops. Like, this is just the ammo I got from killing these guys quick, and they pretty much all died with one shot, so you're going to do nothing but gain ammo. So make sure you have that batteries included perk on. We almost one-shotted a behemoth here. Just insane how much damage this thing can do. And this was without buffs, actually. I was sneaking there, but I didn't have any buffs on, like magazines or food or bobbleheads. Mirelurk Queen destroyed her fairly fast as well. And just like I said, for running around and killing general mobs, like if you can get over that, you know, inaccuracy that happens every once in a while, or maybe just aim more often, it's an awesome gun. It's extremely satisfying just flying around and one-shotting everything with this. And yeah, like I said, like anti-armor or bloodied is probably the way you're gonna want to go. Even if vampires wouldn't be too bad, but you're in a power armor, so you don't really need to worry about health too much. Definitely recommend a bloodied critical, less VATS cost or faster reload speed. Like, I was just smashing out Scorched here. Like, like I said at the beginning, it is a bit inaccurate, but you can see here, like, every shot's just nailing it. Boom, boom, boom. Even the Scorch Beast from a distance here absolutely destroys it. Awesome weapon. Okay, so on to buffs that are great for this build as well. If you're going to go the critical route like I did, make sure you have on, what's it called here? Green Thumb. And you can head over to the Ash Heap and grab some Blight. And by having Green Thumb on, you will collect 2 of them, so that's why I suggested it. There are 3 in this area that I'm showing here, which I think is a Hornwright digging site, I think it might be called. Yeah, Hornwright testing site, number 3. And the reason you're going to want this Blight is because, like I said, if you're going to do a critical build like I did with this weapon, like I highly recommend doing a critical build with this weapon, because it's so easy to build those criticals up with this weapon. It's like almost every shot if you make the build right. And this Blight Soup will make your criticals do an extra 50% damage. And that's not just all. If you have Herbivore as a mutation, you can get that up to 125% extra critical damage for a half an hour at a time. So this thing's just an absolute beast. Ammo machine, kills everything. It's good for bosses. It's just a great overall gun, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out if you haven't. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you so much for checking out my video. Today I'm going to be going over the Holy Flamer, the new flamer that you can get from the Beast of Burden event, and why it's possibly the best flamer ever. So let's get into it. So this is the Holy Fire. It is a vampire's 25% faster fire rate, weapons break 50% slower. And this is one heck of a weapon. It really is. A vampire's flamer, especially with the faster fire rate, is extremely good, and the weapon breaks 50% slower is just like the icing on the cake, really. Now, to get this weapon, if you did not know, you have to go to the Beast of Burden public event. It has to be completed, and then you do have a chance of it being rewarded to you, which I'm going to show here. Now, this event's pretty easy if you're in a public lobby, so if you just show up to it, I'm sure it'll be completed, especially seeing it's very popular right now. It's probably my favorite new event. And after you guys destroy the Agua, or the Ogua, I can't pronounce that right, the Agua, I think, you can see that you may get the Holy Fire like I did right here. I hope you do. Now, I just want to show the difference between the Holy Fire and a regular flamer. Both of these flamers are Vampire's faster fire rate, and you can see when I go back and forth here, the Holy Fire has more damage, and it has a higher fire rate. And it shows. This weapon is extremely powerful and even more powerful than a regular flamer. And you know, it has a blue flame, which is very cool. The only thing you can't do is change the nozzle on it, which I wouldn't recommend on a flamer anyway. The standard nozzle and the range that it gives you is just insane. You're going to see when I kill some enemies, like the distance I can be and still pick them off with this weapon. So Holy Fire, absolutely amazing weapon. But the best thing about this weapon is you can re-roll the legendary effects. And I highly recommend trying the flamer that I have right here if you can get your hands on one. Anti-armor, faster fire rate. The third effect isn't really a huge deal. It is, but it isn't. But I just want to showcase the damage that this weapon can do. That's crazy. So here's another behemoth here. Just has no chance. And I probably could have used more buffs as well, so this video isn't really doing it any justice. It can be even more powerful than this. Here's a Mirelurk Queen, just disintegrate it. Like legacy Gatling plasmas don't have much on this thing, I swear to God. Well, maybe a bit, but you know what I mean. It's impressive, to say the least. It really is. Like the Agua is a fairly tanky enemy, I think. And you can see this is just me shooting him. Like, just destroys that health bar. Absolutely amazing weapon. Here I'm having fun with it at Eviction Notice. Like, it just destroys super mutants. Like, it's laughable. Just laughable. The regular super mutants don't even have a chance. And even to point out, the fire starters don't even have a chance. Like, look at the range I can get on them, too. Absolutely amazing. So, as I said in the video, I do highly recommend you get one of these. And I would recommend re-rolling it after you get a regular Holy Flamer. I would recommend getting another one and try to re-roll for more DPS types effects, like anti-armor, bloodied, maybe executioners, and I'm sure Furious would still be pretty decent. You'll be surprised how much damage you can do with this weapon. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything. If you can point that out, that would be great. And let me know your thoughts of the weapon in the comments as well, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Today I'm going to be going over the Pepper Shaker and a good build for it, how to get it, where to get the mods for it, and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into it here. Okay, so if you didn't know, you can get the Pepper Shaker plan from Graham's Meat Cookout, which is still going on for another week, so if you want to try to get it, now is the time. If not, anyone that has learned the plan can actually make you this weapon and drop it for you, so just keep that in mind, you can still get it. And the mods for the Pepper Shaker can be found at Foundation, which I'm showing here. You just run up to Samuel, and he will have the mods for Gold Bullion. Now, I don't think Settler Reputation affects this. I could be wrong. I have had mine maxed for a while. If someone in the comments could let me know about that, that would be great. But I really don't think it is, and you should just be able to come over here and purchase them. As long as you have the Gold Bullion, of course. And I would recommend getting the Hex Barrel, Laser Magazine, and the Gunner Sight for it. Now let's get into the perks that we will be using with this. Or a build, I should say. So this is where I've allocated my points so you can get started. I've done all the hard work here for you, so you can just hop into this build and enjoy it. And here are all the perk cards that I'm using. I just want to say that Rad Resistance wasn't really necessary. I just wanted to have a little bit more health because this is a lower health build. You will be bringing your health down to 20%. And of course, if you don't know, the best way to do that is just fill your Rads up until Nerd Rage goes off. And I will be using a quad Pepper Shaker, which I just showed the build is perfect for the quad Pepper Shaker if you can get a good roll of it. If not, then I do recommend this build, and it would be perfect for a bloody type Pepper Shaker, even an anti-armor or just another good roll. And the reason that quad is a little bit different is because you're gonna want to have a way to reload a little bit faster, and you just have to change a couple perk cards where I'm showing here. And of course, this is the mutations that I'm using: Adrenal Reaction, Herd Mentality, Scaly Skin, and Speed Demon. Highly recommend. And of course, like I said earlier, this will be a power armor type build. You will want to be running in a power armor with this. And I did choose the T65 for this. I found it worked great for it. And I highly recommend you have the emergency protocols. It's almost a must in my opinion. And I just used the targeting sight and of course the calibrated shocks were the other mods of my power armor. Now let's get into the superpower of this gun. If you didn't know, this thing is literally a crippling machine. As you can see here with this build, you can just, shoot a Mirelurk Queen or pretty much anything for that matter once, and they will not be able to move anymore. They will be completely immobilized. You can see here, like, I just went up to a Super Mutant Behemoth after I shot him a couple times. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Couldn't do anything, not one thing. So this is pretty amazing about the Pepper Shaker. You can see here just a couple shots, and they're pretty much immobilized. So if anything's chasing you, this gun is extremely good for that. It'll slow them right down. And not to mention, it's amazing for Scorch Beasts, including the Scorch Beast Queen. You can see I just shot them a couple times here, and almost immediately after I shot them, they both landed. And like I said, this does work with the Queen as well. So if you want to have this build out at a Queen fight, I'm sure a lot of players will appreciate you when they land. And you can see too, like, it was just pretty much instantaneous after I shot them. You can see how much health I took off before they landed. It wasn't very much. Pretty much just crippled them instantly. Now to get into the power that this build can do. You can see just destroys a behemoth. Are there more powerful builds? Definitely, but this one is pretty good. It's more than fun to run around with. You'll be able to get anything done. I just wouldn't go fight Earl solo with it, although you probably could. It might just take some time. Just like destroys bigger enemies. And for regular mobs, like here's level 100 super mutants, just destroys them. You're just gonna run through them like nothing. Now I want to talk about the range drop off for this weapon. You can see like a Snallygaster, like that would usually be instant if I was close enough. You can see here the behemoth that almost does nothing. Now watch when he comes closer to me. So just keep in mind when you're using this weapon, use it like a shotgun. Try to get as close as you can. Look at the damage difference. It's ridiculous when you get up close. So make sure you're doing that. And that's pretty much it for the video, everybody. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I left out or that you would like to add. It's always greatly appreciated. And I really hope this build helps you, make a good Pepper Shaker build. And I wish you the best of luck of getting the plan for it as well at the cookout. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Today I'm going to be talking about a weapon called the Perfect Storm that has the Incinerary effect on it, which is basically an effect from Fallout 4 and you cannot get on any other weapon in Fallout 76. So I thought this was pretty cool. So yeah, let's get into it here. So as you can see, the Perfect Storm has the Incinerary effect, which is 24 fire damage over 3 seconds, which I'm going to show the difference between this and explosive. This is not an explosive effect. You can kind of see when the explosive effect goes off that it just kind of, smoke just kind of billows away, right? Now let's switch to the Perfect Storm. You can see it continues to burn afterwards. So this is not the explosive effect, and this is actually pretty cool. And just against regular mobs, this thing absolutely destroys enemies, which I would say would make this a very good beginner's gun. You can get this at level 10. And here's level 100 super mutants here. You can see I'm just destroying them. You can see that they're burning after you shoot them too. So they're actually still losing health if you don't kill them after you finish shooting them, which is really cool. I didn't think there was a weapon that had this effect, but yeah, here we are. I have to say shout out to Finders Keepers, who I will leave a link in her channel in the description. Awesome channel if you're ever looking for junk items or just some random stuff. They're very good channel. Highly recommend you subscribe, and I will leave the link in the description for that. But as you can see, just regular mobs, it's absolutely going to destroy them. as being level 100 super mutants are probably, you know, the most tankiest regular mob enemy you're going to get. And like I said, this would be a great weapon for beginners that are just coming out of the vault. It's a very easy mission. I'm going to show you how to do the mission, how to start it up and all that. And like, you're usually fighting Scorch when you first start playing this game, and you can see what this weapon does to them. It just destroys them. Very good gun for beginners. Now, I wouldn't go fighting a behemoth with it, although it will get the job done as seen here, but just pointing out this is not like an end game gun that you're going to get, and unfortunately you cannot roll extra legendary effects on it, which kind of sucks. But nonetheless, it's still a great gun to collect. It can be good for a medic build, as you can use friendly fire with this. And I just wanted to show a quick build that I made for this weapon. And if you want to make your own build for this weapon, it will revolve around the Master Commando perks under Perception. And this is just what I put together quickly if you want to copy my loadout here, you know, to go kill some stuff. Now, if you want this weapon, you just have to come over to Wavy Willards, where I'm showing on the map here, and we're just going to go talk to a robot here that's at the northern part of the park, which I'm going to show here, which is right by the water slide, I think it is, the alligator water slide. We're going to show it here. Just keep in mind that you may have some Mirelurks here, or probably some Scorch that you may have to fight. But after you're not being bothered by other enemies, this is where you're going to come to here, right by the water slide with the alligator. And you're just going to come over here and talk to Miss Annie. And she's basically going to give you a mission, and that is going to get you the perfect storm. She will reward you at the end of the quest, which is called Cold Case. I forgot it there, but that's the mission you're going to be doing, and it just involves you just running around a bit and going to some terminals. The first terminal here you're just going to go to is in Wavy Willards here. And there is a lot of stuff to select, so I just wanted to go through it quick here. You're just going to select what I show you right here. It's actually October 22nd is the one you're looking for. I actually spent a little bit at these terminals figuring it out, so I hope I can save you some time by telling you the right ones to click here. So October 22nd is the one you're looking for, and then that will progress the mission. Or was it 23rd? Sorry, it's the 23rd one. See, I can't even remember. And then after that, you just come over to the safe, and then you're going to get this clue as well. And these are holotape clues. And then the other one you're going to get over here is down underneath. Now, I wanted to show this as well because this may be a bit confusing to people that are not familiar with Wavy Willards. There's only a couple of ways to get down here. And one of the ways is to just come over here to this old water or pool area or fountain, whatever you want to call it. You can just go through the floor and fall down here. Again, there will be some Scorch down here, so just keep that in mind. Maybe a fusion core if you need it as well. And yeah, just make sure you got a decent weapon before you come over here. It's Scorch, so it shouldn't be too hard to kill them. And then you're just going to come down over here and just behind this door, and you're going to come up to the cabinet, and then there's the first holotape. And don't get stuck on the door like I did there. Kind of annoying. And the next one we're looking for is just over here in a trash can, if I am not mistaken. The good old Gatling gun. Awesome gun for a beginner as well, in my opinion. I would just use a Gatling gun right to level 100 after I hit level 50, and then just save up perk points. But anyway, you're going to come over here, you're going to get this letter, and that's going to progress the mission, and then it's going to want you to go to the top of this slide here to go into a yellow crate to get the next piece of information, which is Freddy's ID. So we're just going to go all the way up the stairs here. And then we're going to be leaving Wavy Willards after this. So it will be a little bit of a hike if you don't have an area to fast travel near it. But this is all done in pretty much the same area. So there we go. We got Freddy's ID here. And now we're going to have to go to the Clarksburg post office, which I'm going to show on the map here. So this is where we have to go. And as you can see, it's not too far from Wavy Willards. You can pretty much run over here pretty quick. And then we're just going to come in here, and then we're going up to another terminal. And once we get into it, we're going to click on Search by Box Number is our first selection. And then the next selection, I think, is box 012. Yes. And after we select that, it will progress the mission further. And then we're going to be going to Otis Pike's house, or Otis, I'm not sure. And it is over here in Grafton, actually, so keep in mind there's super mutants over here, there's some rad toads over here, but this is the house that you're looking for once you're not being, you know, in trouble with those enemies, or you're just able to come over here. And then we're going to go down into the basement here. And then we're going up to another terminal. Otis Pikes, to be specific. And then you're just going to go to correspondence, and then it was dam safety is the one that you want. And then that will progress it, and then it will want you to go to the Grafton Dam. And this is where it's going to bring you next, and this will be the hardest part of the mission. Just keep in mind there are a lot of super mutants over here, so like I said, this will be the hardest part of the mission, and you're looking to fall down right here. If it is a little bit confusing, thought I would throw this in the video because it might not be that easy for someone that hasn't been over here to find. And then you're just going to search for these clues, and they're pretty much all in the same area. Like, you're going to grab one off a corpse right here, but I just wanted to show as well, if you start from the top here, if you go through this little area here and then up the stairs, and then there's a hidden clue right there. You can grab that one, which I didn't show. I already had grabbed it. And then you jump across here, grab this clue, and then you're going to fall down here, grab another clue, and then you can just get these all in a row without having to go up top there more than once like I did the first try. Again, just trying to save you a little bit of time. And then you will have all the clues. And then I think we have one more stop. Yeah, so we're just going to go to this search area over here to the left of Clarksburg, and not too many enemies to worry about on the way over here. And you're going to be looking for this house right here, and you're going to want to go upstairs, and you're just going to be going into a little dresser, and then that will be our final piece of information for the mission pretty much. And it's Freddy's hasty note. And it's actually at Woods Estate. I didn't have it discovered on this character yet. I thought I would do it on a low level, just to experience, you know, what someone else might be doing this for the first time. And then, of course, when you get that, you can just come back to Wavy Willards and talk to Annie here, and then she will give you the perfect storm. Simple as that, everybody. A great little quest. Pretty fun to do, even if you don't have use for this gun. It's a very fun gun to try, though, in my opinion, and definitely good for a beginner player. I would even recommend getting this before level 50, because after that, you'll probably have some better guns. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, if there's anything you want to add to this. And again, as always, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Today I'm going to be going over a new melee weapon called the Blue Ridge Branding Iron. And this weapon, like, honestly surprised me when I first used it. And I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun. I definitely recommend giving it a good try. And yeah, let's get into the video here. So the way you get this weapon is completing the new event Safe and Sound, and when you complete it, you'll have a chance to get the weapon like I did here. It'll pop up on the left there now, which is absolutely amazing. You don't get it off the legendary Blue Devil, you get it rewarded from the actual event. And this is the weapon right here. It is an instigating, faster swing speed, +1 strength, which is absolutely amazing for a melee weapon. This is affected by the gladiator perks, and I would use weapon incisor as well, or incisor, sorry, is another perk you'd want to use. And yeah, we're just going to go over here. You can upgrade it. I'm not sure if there's any other mods, and I do want to point out too, it's basically just the skin of the shish kebab, but I feel like it swings faster than the shish kebab. I could be wrong, but anyway, we put the extra flame jets on it, so hopefully you have that mod available, and I definitely recommend putting that on it. As well, you can even change the legendary effects on it, but I wouldn't. I find these legendary effects really good, unless you want to try on another one. Now, just to show, like, the damage this thing does is just ridiculous. Like, any regular mob enemy, you're pretty much just going to start one-hitting them. And if you don't, then the next one or two is probably going to kill them. And you can see the swing speed of this thing. It's not really showcased right now because I'm just, you know, one-hitting everything. But right here. You can see how fast it swings. It's just ridiculous. It could be on par with the shish kebab. I didn't really test it, but I do use the shish kebab sometimes, and it just seems like it's way faster. And the damage it does is just amazing. I was actually very surprised. And I just want to say too, I don't have like a lot of buffs or perks going per se. I have Incisor on and I have all the Gladiator perks on under Strength, but my Strength could definitely go a little bit higher and I could definitely take advantage of some more buffs. Look what it does to a Mirelurk Queen here. Just insane. Like, even me and my friend were just blown away when I did that. I even yelled to my buddy. I'm like, did you see that? Just crazy. Look what it does to a behemoth here. Just insane. They won't have a chance. Especially right now, it kind of seems like the enemies are a little bit like they can't see where we are or something. It's weird. If anyone wants to give their 2 cents in the comments about that. And it would be a great weapon for running around Westech. I might just start using this thing, depending on, you know, how easy it works for not getting killed. But this would be great for throwing grenades because it already has the instigating effect. So if you're looking for an instigating weapon to use at Westech to throw nuka grenades like me to rank up fast or get the scoreboard done, this is definitely the weapon for you. Especially, like I said, the super mutants or even enemies in general right now just seem to be like they're not noticing us as easy. Like you can see, I'm going to show later here, I go up to the new Ogua and he doesn't even try to hit me. It's really weird actually. But you can just see, like, I'm running through Westech here, like 1 or 2 hitting everything. Very fast. I would say this weapon would probably be faster for running Westech than the chainsaw. So, just throwing that out there, another great weapon to run Westech for its benefits without having to use ammo. And yeah, like I said, for regular mobs, you're just gonna, like, start one-hitting them. It's ridiculous. Like anything level 100 super mutant and below, you can pretty much one hit with the right buffs and perks. Again, like I said, I could have put on more perks, so this thing can even do more damage than I'm showing in this video right here. Keep that in mind. This thing is crazy. Now here's the Ogua I was talking about, and I just wanted to throw this in here too as well, because maybe it's not the smartest weapon to go up to like a Scorch Beast Queen or Earl or an Ogua at the end of the Beasts of the Burden. But as you can see, it will take them out. And you can see the enemy didn't move here, which was just weird. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, for general mobs, this weapon is amazing. Trust me, go out there and try it when you can, and do the Beasts, or sorry, the Blue Ridge event safe and sound. Sorry about that. That's the event you're going to get this weapon from. Go out there and do it. Get this weapon and give it a good try. It's not going to cost you any ammo, and it is a lot of fun, especially with the frame rate being the way it is right now. Huge props to Bethesda for that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a great day. Today I'm going to be going over the Alien Blaster, which is actually a pistol, and this thing is actually pretty interesting and not bad at all, actually. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is the Alien Blaster that I'm going to be using. I luckily got an anti-armor, faster fire rate, less action point cost, which is an amazing roll, and I'm very happy to use it in this video for you. So this is like one of the best rolls you can get. I just want to say you could get the plan for this weapon during the Alien Invaders event. It has since passed, so I hope you did get the plan for it. If not, I will show you another way to get this weapon. But that's probably your best, you know, option. Hopefully you can just craft one. But if you can't, just come over here on the map, just to the left of the butterfly, as you can see. And you can find one in a safe that's broken in the toxic water right here. Pretty easy to find, actually. Just keep in mind that you might not find a level 50. So when I came over here, I actually found a level 20. Yeah, level 20. So just keep in mind before you go spending modules, just keep an eye on the level of the gun. I just literally server hopped once and came back over here, and I found myself a level 50. So it was pretty easy. I hope everyone else has as good luck or better than I did. But you should be able to find a level 50, no problem. Hopefully, like I said, you could just craft one. And another thing too, I'm going to link in the description. A cool little quest that you can do for Commander de Gur, or de Jure, I think her name is. And it's a pretty cool quest. and you get a pretty good gun. This is her right here. You'll put down that console and she'll appear at your camp, but there is something you have to do to get her first, which we'll explain in the video that I'll link. And this is the gun that you can get from her quest. It's a pretty fun quest, and it's not a bad gun. You can definitely get a better one, but nonetheless another way to get it. Okay, so like I said, it's best if you have the plan, and then you can just craft a bunch. If not, you might have to just find a bunch and keep scrapping them in order to get all the mods for the weapon. That's the best way to do it. You're not going to see me get any of the plans here because I already did this. I just did it for the sake of the video just to show you that this is the best way to get the mods. I didn't have any for it, and I just forgot to record it, and I did get all the plans after crafting like 20 of these, and then I was able to put whatever I wanted on it, keeping in mind that there are 4 different receivers that you can get from the alien event, which has recently made this gun a lot stronger. Not so much recently, but more so than when it first came out. So this is what you get for it. You're going to want to put the long barrel on it, the sharpshooter's grip, even the scope. And I would recommend the cryo mag. The poison mag I found very good as well, but the cryo mag definitely I think does the most damage. But if you have the poison mag, you're still, you know, doing pretty good. Now this is a build I put together for using this weapon. I just put this together very quickly. I'm sure there's some better builds of better videos of builds, or even on Reddit, that you could find to make for a pistol. But this build that I used did work very well for killing enemies. So if you just want to put together a quick build like I did, then this might work for you. And as you can see, this gun is powerful. It might be the most powerful pistol in the game, or even the best pistol in the game. I may have overlooked this in an earlier video, but you can see I'm just like one-shotting Scorched. Like one-shotting them. No problem. Very powerful gun. A Scorch Beast. Just disintegrate it. I was like so blown away like how powerful this thing was. And here's a 100 glowing behemoth, and it just melts him as well. I had like so much fun with this gun. It's a real good one to use. And I just want to point out too that Demolition Expert does seem to make the cryo mag do a little bit more damage. I didn't notice too much, but I think there is a bit of a difference. I have mixed feelings about what I researched, but I would just put it on just in case. I show here twice me shooting a level 100 super mutant in the chest with demolition and then without it, and you can kind of see that with demolition it's doing a little bit more. So you can see it's like 5 or 6 shots to the chest. We're gonna put on demolition, and we're at the same range. You know, and you can see it I feel like it's going down a little bit faster. So I would recommend having demolition on. And yeah, here we go, destroying a behemoth again. The range actually isn't bad, as you can see. But I just wanted to say too, with this gun, I just had a lot of fun using it. It was very easy to use, and it just pretty much destroyed regular mobs. Now, I wouldn't go try to fight Earl solo with this weapon, but definitely a lot of fun and very powerful and very worth using. Thank you so much for watching the video, everybody. Again, let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and thank you so much for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Tesla rifle called Bertha, and I'm just going to be giving my opinion, whether it's good or not, and yeah, just all that kind of good stuff. Finally got this weapon. Very happy to review it. Let's go. Okay, so here's the weapon right here. It is a 2-shot, 25% weapon speed, and a 15% reload. It pretty much comes with all the good attachments on it, unless I just got a good one. Automatic barrel, I didn't have to put on, or the reflex sight, and you can change the paint on it, but you cannot re-roll it, so just keep that in mind. And you do get this as a random drop from Dangerous Pastimes if you're trying to get it, or you may have to try to look in someone's vendor or even on Reddit to get one. Now, I'm just going to show you the perks that I used for this build. I pretty much just used a regular bloody commando build, but I thought I would show you my perk cards. And I just wanted to point out too, I do have the science perk cards on, as they do buff the damage. And yeah, that's kind of one of the problems too, is that I think it needs these perk cards because it's already, like, it does decent damage, but I feel like you just need that little bit of extra with it. So just throwing that out there, if you are running this build, try to throw the science perk cards on. I know it's hard because it does break very fast as well, so you may want to have Gunsmith on, but yeah, here's the build that I used, and it definitely worked for me. Also, for mutations, I would highly recommend Adrenal if you're going low health, Eagle Eyes, Healing Factor I like to use, Herbivore, definitely I would recommend this for this, as you can use Blight Soup to get better critical damage. Herd Mentality, because you should just probably have that. Marsupial, Scaly Skin, and Speed Demon are the mutations that I'm using, just in case you're wondering. Now, my overall opinion of this gun, let me just say, first of all, it is pretty good. I really do. I did like using it this morning, and for regular mobs, it is an absolute beast. If you're just killing regular enemies, which is what I call mobs, absolutely destroys them. You're going to just run right through them. But when it comes to bigger enemies, it is, like tankier enemies, it is lacking a bit. Although I do think this is a powerful weapon, it just doesn't compare to some of the more powerful weapons, like an auto axe. It doesn't even come close to the damage that'll be doing, or even a railway rifle. It also breaks very fast, as I was saying, so it's just really hard to get those science perk cards on, and I feel like they're a must. Again, regular mobs, like the fact that it will bounce around and hit other enemies is also another great thing. This weapon's definitely usable, and I highly recommend trying it. It will take out bigger enemies if you are patient with it and you can, get the right hits on them. It'll get it done. Like I said, it's definitely above average for the damage, but there's just better weapons. Like if you're going to be going fighting a boss or something like that, like a Scorchbeast Queen or Earl, you're probably not going to want to use this, as it will be reloading a lot too, and there's just better weapons for damage. Again, if you're fighting a whole horde of ghouls, then this weapon is going to take them out a lot faster than either of those overpowered weapons would. So it just really depends how you're using this weapon, and if you're not a person that has to have a meta type build, then this is definitely a build for you to try out. It is definitely a decent weapon. I did want to say too, it is lacking a bit of range, as we're showing here, but that's probably not going to be a problem most of the time. Like, we're not always all fighting Scorch Beasts, and yeah, you can still take them out if they land, or you can even jump and hit them like I did here. You can see it does a fair amount of damage to a regular Scorch Beast, so again, a very good gun to use. It is a lot of fun, and it gets the job done. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it in my stash box, to be honest, just to, pull it out and have some fun with it. It's definitely a decent weapon, but it's nothing special in my opinion. I really don't think it is. Just when you run into those bigger enemies, it's just, okay, you're going to end up switching to that railway rifle or that auto axe or whatever. You're just going to miss those more powerful weapons, unfortunately. Overall conclusion, definitely give it a try. Don't expect it to be anything amazing. And yeah, it may surprise you a bit, actually. It's a decent weapon, but yeah, just definitely above average, I would say. As always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Today I'm going to be talking about the Alien Disintegrator and how to get it and if it's good, and I just figured now's the time because you can get it by going to the Alien event, which I'm going to show here. So let's get into it. Okay, again, so if you're wondering how to get this, you just go to the Invaders from Beyond event. It's a seasonal event. It is not on all the time, so if you're watching this a little bit later and can't get it, you just have to wait for this event to pop up and hope you get a drop for it, which is the Alien Disintegrator, not the Blaster. It doesn't really have a lot of mods on it. It has one automatic receiver, which I would highly recommend. I just feel like the other receivers are just not as good, really. Here's the Poison receiver, which is probably my least favorite out of the three semi-automatics. This is the Cryo one. It wasn't too bad, but definitely still lacking some damage. The powerful one was actually pretty decent, but just a very slow fire rate, and yeah, it just wasn't as good as the automatic. So let's get into the build that I use, which will be an automatic commando build. And these are the points that I'm using. Now, these are the perk cards that I'm using for this build. If you do want to go the semi-automatic route, all you have to do is replace the commandos for riflemen, and then you have the same build pretty much, and you'll be able to do damage with those. Because maybe you didn't get the automatic receiver yet, and you want to try the other one. I did include the science perk cards as well, as they do buff the damage, and this is the legendary perk cards that I am using with this build. If you do not have all these legendary perk cards unlocked, this is a beginner's build to start working towards this if you do want to use this weapon, and it's definitely usable, which we're going to show here. And yeah, just if you're a beginner, hopefully that build will help you. Here's the mutations that I'm using. Definitely adrenal, eagle eyes. You don't need egghead. Healing factor is good. Herbivore for blight soup, herd mentality, marsupial, speed demon, and scaly skin. And this is the weapon that I'm using. Now, I would recommend a bloodied if you can get your hands on it. If it's a faster fire rate or more critical damage, that is just as good. But the anti-armor is not bad, and this is the best roll I could get, so. And just to say, it is not really the most powerful weapon, but it does get the job done. It's just one of those weapons where there are going to be more powerful weapons. Like I said, there's not really a lot of mods or attachments for it, and just aiming down sights is kind of a pain with this weapon. You can see it doesn't really have any like sights at all, and it is kind of jumpy when you fire it. So this this weapon is best used, I think, in VATS, and if you can use it any other way, then, you know, props to you. And like I said, it does get the job done. You can see I'm taking out a behemoth here pretty quickly. And just overall general mobs, like, you will pretty much destroy them. This is like a high tier medium damage gun, so somewhere between medium and good damage, this weapon, I would say. If you're up close with enemies, it's definitely very good as well. It definitely seems to drop damage with a bit of range, but again, it still will get the job done. For general mobs, absolutely, you know, amazing, like most weapons are. Like, you could use a rolling pin against general mobs, right? You know what I mean? I just wouldn't go using this, you know, to solo fight Earl or anything like that. The Colossal Problem. Even aliens, I found, like would take more than a couple of shots. You can see the range is just falls off there when they get so far away. But up close, regular enemies, like, you're not always going to be running into aliens, and if you're up close, you'll pretty much, for the best part, do more than enough damage. Just wanted to show too that you can drop this weapon now. You can make one for a friend if they don't have the plan and drop it for them, and vice versa too. If somebody has the plan and just wants to give it to you, they can drop the plan for you, and you can pick it up now, which is an amazing thing because we couldn't do this before. Hopefully this changes for a lot of plans. And just my overall opinion of this weapon is that it is a medium to good damaging weapon if you really put an effort into it. It's a decent semi-automatic build if you want to go that route as well, because the stealth is pretty good with it. But just as overall, like, even with a fully automatic commando, it's just alright. It's a lot of fun to use, and it sounds great. But other than that, it just... yeah, it's not really anything special in the damaging department, and like a railway rifle, a fixer, a handmade, it's just going to be more powerful than this weapon. But like I said, it does sound great. It's a ton of fun to use, and yeah, you will probably turn some heads at events when people hear this weapon going off. And yeah, it's, like I said, it's a lot of fun to use. It's definitely worth a try, everybody, is my best way to put it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my review on the weapon. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to add anything in the comments. And as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Today I just want to talk about the auto axe and the damage increase that it got according to the patch notes. And I just think this was intriguing because this is already one of the most powerful weapons in the game, so the fact that it got a damage increase is definitely intriguing. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me just read you the patch notes. Fixed an issue with how damage was calculated for the following weapons / mods. Auto Axe, Chainsaw, and the Minigun Shredder mod. And increased base damage for the Auto Axe. Increased base damage for the Auto Axe. Adjustments to the electric, electrified, burning, and poison mods for the following weapons: Auto Axe, Mr. Handy, Buzzblade, Chinese Officer Sword, Shepherd's Crook, Sheep Squatch Staff, Sheep Squatch Club, Hatchet, Assaultron, Blade, Revolutionary Sword, Baton, and the Vault 63 Shock Baton. Now this is, you can take this a couple of different ways. They did say they adjusted it, so maybe they just lowered it and made the more maybe they lowered the amount of electric damage it's doing and like buffed the base damage as it says here, but I don't know. Basically, to me, this says that it is doing more damage. So I thought I would test it, and it's definitely doing more damage. This thing is just ridiculous. I've used the Auto Axe a lot, and I definitely noticed that it's doing a little bit more damage. But let's just get into the basics of the Auto Axe before I show you some other kills there and how damaging it is. Just want to throw this out there. If you didn't know, you do get the Auto Axe from the White Springs Refuge, and you just come all the way over here, and you're going to talk to Giuseppe. Now, you will need to get stamps from doing expeditions in order to purchase it. If someone in the comments could let us know the amount for purchasing it, I will pin your comment. It is more than a little bit. I think it's like 500 stamps if I'm not mistaken, or even more. It's been a while since I purchased it, so I apologize for that. But it's definitely worth it. Now let me just read you this about strength. If you didn't know, strength is a measure of raw physical power. It affects how much you can carry and the damage of all melee attacks. So, strength, the more strength you have, the more damage you will do with this weapon. So I just wanted to throw this out there. This is why I have so much strength. Now, let's get into the build that I'm using for this. It will be a low health build, although you can make a full health build with this, and this Auto Axe will do more than enough damage. I always say this is like one of the perfect weapons to use with a hybrid build, because you only really need to put on a couple perks to really make this thing do a lot of damage. This is like an end game build right here. If you are a beginner, you're just going to want to focus on all the sluggers, incisor, and blocker. Those are all very important. You probably don't really need things like ironclad. Radical is definitely important. If you're going to go low health, nerd rage, as I said though, full health will work just fine. Ricochet is definitely something you're going to want. Just things like this if you're a beginner. Tenderizer, bloody mess, action boy. It all depends what you're doing, but if you're going for the low health and you want the most damage out of the build, this is the build that I came up with here. So again, you can make whatever build you really want, and this Auto Axe will do a ton of damage. Keeping in mind those science perk cards do buff the damage of the electric mod on the Auto Axe. I highly recommend getting the electric mod on the Auto Axe after you purchase it. And of course, these are the legendary perk cards that I'm using. Okay, mutations that I'm using. Adrenal if you're low health, Carnivore for sure, because there's a lot of melee buffs that involve Carnivore. It works better for them. Healing Factor, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, Scaly Skin, Speed Demon, and definitely Twisted Muscles with this build. Again, this is a low health build, so Unyielding Armor is great for this as well, as it will give you a lot of extra strength, hence giving you more damage. Now, let's just see the damage this weapon does. Like, just zips through their health bar. Like, it's just crazy. Boop. Like, you just have to literally walk up and touch an enemy with this weapon, and they're dead. Like, I was surprised. Like I said, I've used the Auto Axe a lot, and it was already extremely powerful. But when I got some food buffs going with this thing, man, it was just like, wow. I definitely feel like it got a bit of an increase. May not be too much, but it's definitely a bit of an increase. Like that Scorch Beast there was like an insta-kill. This Blue Devil would have been an insta-kill almost if I didn't, lose track of him here. But like even a Blue Devil just destroyed him. The Thunder Crab at the end here, like look how fast we zip through its health. It's just crazy. I'm sure the server was helping me there a bit, but that was mostly from me. And just to show you against the Storm Goliaths, They do take, or they are more spongy. The more you kill them, the more spongy they get. So I just wanted to show you with all of them alive, you can see the amount of damage it does. And then even with one left, one that's at its most tankiest point, it's just still destroying it. Like, look at that damage just go down. Just insane. You will not need another weapon. Like, it doesn't even use ammo, which is another good reason to use the auto axe. I'm definitely going to be using this build for a bit now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you are an auto axe user, if you've noticed a bit of an increase, or just your thoughts on, you know, them increasing the damage of one of the most powerful weapons in the game, in my opinion. Looking forward to reading the comments, everybody. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a pleasant evening.